What became of Kupka?
Clive, you're back.
I am. And with glad tidings for once. Hugo Kupka is no more.
Well, I'll be. All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had a stolus from Lubor saying Drake's fang had fallen. I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
It's a long story.
One for the history books, I'll bet.
Welcome home, Clive.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it. Which means I'm coming on your next little adventure. You're not leaving me behind again.
Wouldn't dream of it. Otto. Any word on the Royalist movements since I've been away?
Shouldn't you be putting your feet up? If you really want to know, go and have a word with Vivian.
Thank you. I will.
Ah, the conquering hero returns. And with hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you... The scent of Waloed.
The very same. But whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the Royalists, as did his men. Slaughtered by the Orcs who'd taken over the Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in Storm before. The Waloeders must have ferried them over from Ash, but why? Why work to rescue Kupka only to invade his home, the mother crystal of an allied nation, and let both fall? It makes no sense.
Do you know the tale of the blind men and the Adamantus? One can often be led astray by focusing too... One must instead see the bigger picture. The Kingdom of Waloed claims dominion over the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dhalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of Orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Waloed? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Waloeder standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the Royalists betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the Royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await... Well, not quite. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice... The wounds he left that night are still raw. Especially for those who lived with Cid the longest. Tell them that those wounds might consider it the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word. No.
Look, he's crying.
He is. And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right, brilliant.
Finally, a new dawn has...
It has.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good...
Hippocrates. I need to know what he is.
Alas. No. And not for want of trying. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude...
But I saw him. With my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only... To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond...
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations...
Thank you. It means...
Thanks to Cid.
Well, someone looks pleased with himself. We're in then.
Nothing escapes you, Lady Karen. It's true. Kupka is dead.
No more looking over our shoulders then. Good. I'm starting to get a crick in my neck. Don't let it go to your head, though. Well, don't just stand there gawping. Finished, are you?
Blackthorn.
What is it?
I wanted to tell...
This is under a new Cid.
I'll try to live up to them. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything else for me.
Crystal too? You're joking.
It's no joke. Drake's fam is gone.
I'm telling you, it's true. I heard it from Otto's own lips. Hugo Kupka is dead.
You barely sat down since you came home. Vivian got you right.
Just spreading the word.
So, the Professor's got a soft side, has she?
No. She was right, though.
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing, not least of all Sid. You Well, when you do, she's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers.
Very well.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in. Why would anyone want to do that?
I think Mid might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon.
All right, Clive?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I've got to get this thermal...
Thermal. And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I
I were hoping you'd say that. First thing, the stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flame.
A full suit of armor, then? Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Hell with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last one, then.
She said you would know.
Krieger's Teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy, though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin Otto in here, will you?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand collecting the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where. We can get this over with. You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these two lucky souls is going with you?
Gav, you're with me.
All right, then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Alamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of this stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting him fleece ya.
Fleece me? I'd like to see him try.
In your own time. Clive. Sancfordian, dear. Not bad, if I do say so myself. Should last you a good while. Don't waste my time. You ain't got the stuff. That it? Fine.
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Gav? Sorry to keep...
Better late than never. I've had a quick... Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked her, but if Stardust is what Blackthorn want, we shall.
So this is Stardust. It just looked like black sand to me. That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go... Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he...
You go on ahead. And try to get some...
Oh, I planned after Blackthorn get...
Right. Ready to go home, boy? Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Yeah. Cheers for this.
You're beat sneaking around on...
I'll make us. It'll take some time, mind.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction.
Suppose we'd better begin...
Give us a shout if you need it.
I went up to give some greens to the chocobo.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Oh, Sid.
Yes.
I'll show you the plans. Excess heat is dealt with by means of... Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this, in other words, the reactor would overheat. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material. Why, if sea or rainwater were to...
You can stop there. Mid, where would I find...
It's no...
I see. Would that help?
Oh, I'll gather my team.
Good day to you.
Oh, there you are, Cid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you,
Of course. Anybody home? This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go. The things I do for you, Mid.
Cid!
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll,
All right. I'll...
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena. And
Right.
How's that?
The plating, which is what a prison. I thought the helmet had.
Well, if I know who's...
Tone. I've got all the. Can you take this?
Right away.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Mid hasn't been.
I went up to give some greens to the truck.
Hippocrates. Do you have...
For you, Clive?
Well, actually, it's for Mid this. Could you take a look at this? She has some specific requirements for the materials. The should yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough, as you can imagine. She's struggling to find... I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for...
Perhaps. It is not a different material she requires, but a different...
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home, and yet...
We have, but Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from... I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation before the dragoons...
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some, but I shall... If you...
Thank you.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some...
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my... So, Clive, who will accompany you on your...
Very well. So then, what...
I have taken the liberty of preparing...
Why? Are you sure? I would have thought...
Though the so much now...
Is that so? I've been...
I will.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia. Now, where's Jill?
Slavers don't even bother with Northreach now that all the highborn have fled south. Keep them pilchers nice and chilled.
Are those Pepio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all the... Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple...
All right. What am I...
How about you look for the... I'll find the other thing.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin. Fresh cuts! Come and get them before they're gone.
What can I interest you in today? I trust it's all here. I hope it's to your liking. Keep fighting the good fight.
Buy, sell, or be gone. If that's what you want.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
Did you find everything?
I did.
Garlic and... Now, all that remain. But before we head back, would you... Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember? Walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells.
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham, and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive. Well, I suppose we better be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Harpocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Talia how we might best go about preparing the Moondew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary?
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you. It was nice, just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying when both the shielding and the Moondew are followed, perhaps.
Leave it, thank you. Well, I'd better go and give Mid the good news then. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid, but you'll be pleased to know that work on the shield...
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, he's supervising the construction.
Brilliant!
Don't thank me.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits to the Black Hammer.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding...
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way.
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer.
Thank you. Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one...
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I... The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and...
You don't mean...
Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in?
Daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of... That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we need... But now she's so close to being finished. I've realized I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get... I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
All right. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, and put sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's...
He'd be proud of you.
You
I was. And you can come too, now that...
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Nick told me she was building a ship.
Really?
All right, Clive. We'd finished sending half the Hideaway traipsing across the Twins, has she? I swear. That no excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing.
She said that? In those what?
She...
Clive, were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat.
Then I'm too late.
Oh, you in a hurry and all, are you? Oh, I offered. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was got a letter for urgent.
Thank you, Obolus.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle? Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye out.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
Well, nothing but next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place. Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least. Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kupka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the Lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The Blight marches on. And soon, there will be no escaping sights like these.
So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's Tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you. But we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go? With them? Oh, thanks, Nan!
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot! There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't he, boy?
This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass. All official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
So what do you think?
How nice. They have a hideaway of their own.
And if you ever want to see it again, heard the
We've done the Republic a service. I see the Dalmex lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
The fallen ruin should hold, at least. The path continues on the other side. This might take a while.
So this is Zemeckis.
The land of the gods. It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice and challenged the gods in a bid to win their power. The final battle took place here, at these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men. Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
And we'll have to keep our wits about us. Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
I see the reports are true, Father. You have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have. Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sanbreque.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age.
Father, please.
Or for as long as I am able. The empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule it, and I can think of none better suited to the task. There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Greager, made flesh. Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true power of Sanbreque.
Father. I find you much changed. Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another? Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only. Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths regarding the nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
You would trust the words of this traitress? She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sanbreque, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your Emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, your Radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring. I'm hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough. You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
The Boklab markets are to the north. We just need to hug the coast.
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be easy with the Imperials on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside. His troops are well-trained and increasingly battle-hardened. But it's not as if we can wait for the siege to end. Refugees.
And they're all making for the Crystalline Dominion.
Because they don't know how to live without the Crystal's blessing.
Company, company.
There are no crystals here.
This is where we're supposed to meet Goots, isn't it?
That's right. He said he'd wait for us here after replenishing his supplies. I dare say he'll have finished by now.
Let me carry your goods. I'm cheap. Peaches and pears. Beets and beets.
Wonders from across the water. Come one, come all. Feast your eyes. Good sir, can I interest you in...
How much? For a measly crust of bread?
You won't find any cheaper. Not nowadays. But you're more than welcome to look.
The Empire's unlawful and illegitimate. Only those whose business in Twinside has been officially approved by the Republican Army will be permitted to cross the border. All who seek entry are to form a line and ready their documents for inspection.
It looks like we aren't the only ones who are eager to leave.
And they're checking everyone.
Can't you make an
Not
exception?
for the likes of you.
We won't get through without that pass. Let's go and find Good, shall we? He must be around here somewhere.
Come, taste my peaches. They're sweet as nectar.
I'll take the large one.
Oh, Good.
Clive, I'm...
Slow down, Good.
It's me. We cannot ride the caravan without it. We won't...
Do you remember when you...
It was in me pocket. Here. You don't think...
It wouldn't surprise me. A busy market like this is prime territory for pickpockets.
So?
I know where. I've got a pal in, but no one knows more about...
Where do we find her?
She's the owner of the Crimson...
No time like the present.
You two go on ahead. I'm going to check the rest of me stuff, make sure...
All right.
Let's keep an eye out for this red...